Hey guys, so this is Paola Sanz La Colombiana, and as you know, my YouTube channel is about investment, lifestyle, and tourism. So today we are here with Sanchez. Sanchez is gonna be today for a big reason. He's a business owner in Medellín, Colombia. So we are very curious. Tell us a little bit about you, Sanchez.
Okay, first of all, I want to say thank you, Paula, for coming out and coming to the restaurant, Tributo. I am the owner, one of the only black-owned owners in the Poblado area. I've been owning Tributo for about 3 months now. I've been living in Medellín for 4.5 years, and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, living here now in Medellín.
This is perfect, guys. So I know everybody's so curious about what business to get into Colombia, what is the process for a foreigner. So now we're gonna find a place where to sit with Sanchez and asking all the questions you guys were sending about how to open a business, what was his process legally, how he bring the money, and even how he find a place. So let's go, guys.
Let's do it.
Okay, guys, and as I said, we will move to a place that we're more comfortable to ask all these questions, where you guys can hear clearly. It's a little bit noise on the background. I hope it's not too much. But now let's start with the questions. I got a couple questions he's writing down for him. So,
Okay.
first question will be, how did you discover the opportunity to purchase this restaurant, and what attracted you to the business?
Well, actually, I had no intentions to be a bar restaurant owner. The deal is what attracted me. Originally, I had a deal to purchase a friend's restaurant, and the negotiations fell through. And then I decided, hey, I wanted a small cafe, and it was up the street from where my restaurant currently is. And the negotiations fell through with that also. And then I kept searching, and you wouldn't believe, I was looking on Facebook Marketplace. And that's when I saw a picture of Tributo on Facebook Marketplace. And I only knew the restaurant because my friend had a hookah contract set up with the restaurant. And so I had come by there once or twice. And so I recognized it on Facebook Marketplace. And then I decided, hey, I'm going to go put in an offer because I love the location. And
the location is perfect, by the way. It's absolutely perfect. It's right in Poblado. Wow. So I don't mean to interrupt you, but so basically this business was kind of familiar to you. That's why you were more trustful to start this process and to invest into the business, or buy it in this case, because you bought it, right?
Yes. It was. I must say, I was a little afraid at first because I'd never been in this type of business, but I trusted the deal and the numbers.
Yeah, and Facebook Market is doing their things, guy, because now everybody's buying and selling. So tip for you, Facebook Market is like a big deal right now to find furniture, to find jobs, to find so many things. So Mark Zuckerberg is doing his thing in Medellin too.
Anything you want.
Okay, so you saw the business, you went to see it. It was familiar because a friend of you was already a provider for the hookah for the business.
Correct.
So the second question, which is to continue that, is, as a foreigner, what were the initial legal steps you had to take to acquire this business in Colombia?
I don't know if it's necessary, but having a cedula made it easier for me.
Okay, you already had a cedula before you invested.
Yes, I had I currently have a digital nomad visa, and a part of getting that visa, I had to get a cedula, which is identification in Colombia.
Yeah. Also, he has a visa. The visa gave him a cedula, which is a foreigner cedula, we call it. And then after you got the business, did they give you a different type of visa, a different type of cedula, or it kept being the same?
Actually, my digital nomad visa doesn't expire until next August, so I'm gonna wait until after to try to acquire a business visa.
Okay, perfect. The third question is, like, can you walk us through the process of transferring funds to Colombia for the purchase? Like, I'm sure you don't have to tell us how much it cost you if you don't want, but I'm sure it was, a good amount of money. How do you transfer from the state to Medellin?
I use the application called Remitly, and it's for transferring international funds. You can only transfer a certain amount, up to a certain amount.
I think it's like
But
$5,000
yeah,
at
yeah.
time.
And because the purchase wasn't a huge purchase, I was able to get the money from my U.S. account over to my Colombia account, which I had to create also.
Okay, so basically you bought the business, but you didn't bought the property of the business.
I did not buy the business space or the property. I only purchased the business that operates, so I
Okay.
still pay a lease rent.
Oh, okay. Yeah. In Colombia, we call it we bought the razón social, which is basically the business with its name.
Oh, okay, okay.
And yeah, so okay, that's good. It makes definitely easier and the investment a lot better than when you buying the property or buying or you just rent a place and they start furnishing everything because a lot of the time when they selling something they give you a good deal already with all the furniture, right? You didn't
Uh-huh.
have to put or renovate anything as of right now inside the business.
No, I didn't have to renovate anything. I had to repair almost everything.
It was a little bit broken.
Yeah, yeah, the refrigerator, the stove, the toilet, normal wear and tear products. I did have to repair some things, but I plan on doing some remodeling in a few months after the restaurant has started to make money on its own.
Okay, and I'm sure you also did something with the menu to customize them more. Is it the menus is still the same?
I did. I actually have really good cooks. You know, so, two of them were from Venezuela, actually. So I have a good mix of the Colombian, Venezuelan vibe. I want to say. All I did is I tweaked the menu a little bit. I knew that foreigners like wings, so I added lemon pepper wings, buffalo wings, barbecue wings, chicken and waffles. That's really big in my
You
hometown.
make it more like foreigner friendly, the restaurant.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
okay.
The burgers, salmon.
Yeah.
American
By the way,
friendly.
we're gonna go on after here and try a little bit of one of his things in the menu, and I'm gonna let you know as a Colombian, maybe not as an American person, if I like it or not. I might have no an American taste though. Maybe for you guys, that's how
Let's
you
see.
like it.
Let's see. Let's see. Let's see.
Absolutely. So the fifth question will be, how do you ensure that the funds you brought into the country were properly registered with a Colombian authority, or do you find any file with the DIAN, which is the Colombian tax authority, or you escape everything? You did it kind of more informal way.
I did it in I guess, an informal way. Remitly, the app that I use to transfer the money, it reports, to the IRS in the United States, and I would assume Remitly here because it works along with Bank Colombia, which is where my account is.
Okay, so
Excuse
you
me.
get your money to your Colombian bank account in Remly.
Uh huh.
Ah, okay. So basically, that money is automatically reported in the Colombian tax authority
Yes.
because
Yes.
it came into a Colombian bank account. If you wouldn't have it in cash from Remly, it wouldn't be. They wouldn't know.
Yeah. They
The
would.
Colombian tax authority, which we call it DIAN, DIAN, would never know because he's a foreigner, and even if you have a cedula, like it wouldn't be reported because it was cash, but it went through his bank account. Okay.
Yes.
And do you have to like sign anything because the bank say, okay, why you got all this money from? Did they ask you anything? Did the bank call you?
No, they didn't ask me anything. Like I said, the funds weren't that much,
Okay.
and I did it little by little. So I didn't send a lot at one time in order not to raise red
Sometimes
flags.
that's a good way to do it. Yeah, little
Yeah.
by little, if you have the time, because sometimes people just find great deals and they need the money all like right now.
Uh-huh.
But that's absolutely good. Good to know that there is also beside the legal frame of it, there is little ways through through the system.
Yeah, yeah. Legal and simple sometimes, yeah.
See, you see Americans doing that here, huh? No, we all do it. If I'm Colombian and I can, find my ways through the system to avoid certain things, you can trust and believe I will do it too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because we do not want to work for the government or, feel like everything we're doing and the effort is just for the government.
Exactly. We
Yeah.
have to make money.
A fifth question will be, were there any specific legal documents or contracts that were particularly complex during the purchases process?
Uh-huh. Gratefully, I was blessed to have the ex owners helped me through the process because I would have had no idea where to go as far as documents and things of that nature. They prepared two main documents. I can't remember every one, but the main documents were the contract, one for the business, which we went and we got notarized. And they added the inventory of the restaurant, all the necessary things. And then also I had to get what they call the business license here, I would assume, the root or NIT. And so I had to go to the, forgive me, I can't remember the name.
Cámara de Comercio?
Cámara de Comercio. Yeah. I had to go there 1,000 times because I had to. It's
complex, guys. If you open a business in Colombia, you gotta be patient. A lot of things sometimes takes like a lot of time, even like longer than it actually should. But it's how it is. You gotta be patient.
Gotta be determined.
And ready to spend a whole day in an office.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, okay, it was, so basically you just kind of like, because they were already making a business with your friend, you kind of trust them, they were doing the right thing with the right documents. You read it, of course, and you understood what was going on, and then you went signs and the rest of the paperwork.
Yes, I actually I deal with contracts as being a realtor back in Atlanta, and so I was able to use Google Translator with the camera function and review some of the contracts. But I also had a good friend here in the music business who reviewed the contracts for me. He owns a jazz club downtown. He's from Medellín, and so I had him, act as my lawyer, so to speak.
Okay, so he did that. Okay, that's cool. At least you have, somebody who understood and already owns the business and have an idea of the process of acquiring a business. So that's actually good. So the A question would be, so I think this basically is responded already, but how do you handle the diligence process, especially being in a foreigner country? Like, was there any unexpected legals or financial issues with the business, or?
I'd say the most important was getting verified by the real estate rental company that rents the space out, because I'm a foreigner.
That's a good part. So basically, the company rented the place to have the business, but not because they transferred it to you. You also have to go kind of a real estate process to get the property, right?
Verified.
Wow. So that you would say that was the biggest little issue when it comes to transferring the business to you?
Yes, I wouldn't call it an issue, but you have to know how to negotiate, I guess you could say. Normally, they wouldn't rent to a person like me because I didn't have co-signers and things like that. I think I had to have at least 2 co-signers. I only had one, which the ex-owner of the business, he acted as one of my co-signers, and I had to pay 3 months in advance a deposit for rent.
Oh, yeah. They wanted to make sure as a foreigner, okay, he leave, we have a deposit for this, okay.
Unfortunately so.
Was it a lot, or kind of, the deposit?
The deposit, no, it wasn't.
We're trying to find out.
It was 3 months, 3 months of rent, so.
This is actually, in my experience as a person who is in the real estate, I rent for foreigners, this is something, guys, that a lot of Colombian property owners or business owners want, but it's because it's like a guarantee, technically. Because as a Colombian, if they rent to me, I went through the whole process legally to get that. So if anything, if I own a car, if I own anything, they can literally have access to it because I'm on debt with them. But as a foreigner, it's a little bit more complicated because there's no, even when there's little steps to guarantee something, there's really no guarantee. So tomorrow you can just say so to a truck, hey, take everything out, I'm leaving. And then you're left, and now that person is there with, even if they own the place, you still gotta pay taxes, you still gotta pay services. Maybe the person even left and didn't pay services for like 2-3 months. So it's more than taking advantage, because a lot of foreigners would say, oh, they're trying to take advantage of me. It's more of a guarantee that I think as a business owner, you should be able to understand, because you don't want to be fucked by, and excuse my language, by somebody, right?
Yeah.
So how do you feel about it?
I agree. My first option for me is to buy the actual space so I can be in control of paying my own self rent. And
Right.
if my restaurant didn't work out, then I could change it into anything. I can
You
try a
still own
barber
it.
shop or something. Yeah, yeah. So
Right.
that's first. But paying rent isn't bad. I do understand them protecting themselves and guarding themselves, because unfortunately, other Americans, foreigners, have messed it up for us that's trying to
I
do
mean,
it in the right way. So it was no big deal. I believed that I was going to make that money, back in a few months, in which I did anyway. So
so we already know that you only been with the restaurant for 3 months, you say?
mhm.
How is it doing? Because it was already, he got a good deal because he had a business that was already working, that already have a name. Of course, he restructured a lot of the things for it to work more to be more like touristy friendly. So of course, you can take advantage of the tourism in Medellin. But
Uh-huh.
is it doing well since you got it? Like, you feel like you're getting your ROI? Like, is it being super difficult? Are you able to, with the sales, covers all of the expenses so far?
Yes, actually, the goals that I had set for the restaurant, we've doubled the goals that I had set, and we've actually
You heard
tripled.
that? They double and triple.
Yes, yes. We've actually tripled the income that the previous owner was making, also, in less than 3 months. So I'm, grateful to God for that. Football season helped out a lot with that and gave us some momentum. So we're going to try to keep that consistent throughout the year, hopefully.
Okay, this is gonna be a question. Do you have to change the prices when you got the restaurant?
Yes, I did. Unfortunately, the previous owners, they were very good people and great to the neighborhood, but I felt in order for the restaurant to reach its true potential,
Yeah.
I would have to raise prices just a little bit. But one thing that I did do was I was smart enough to keep the prices lower than
Yeah,
the
most of
local.
the places.
Yeah.
So to put you in context, guys, I asked this question because this is something that I already knew, and I wanted to make it clear because even for me as a Colombian person, I saw the prices and I think they're just like cheaper. He is in the most expensive area, located in the most expensive area of Medellin, which is
Yeah.
El Poblado, like 2 blocks from Jettas Park. So most restaurants here, even Colombian business owner restaurants around here, having a place is a little bit more expensive than the average price in the rest of the city. However, I was checking this price and I was like, these prices are really good, even for me. Like, I'm Colombian, my friends, I can afford it, I can afford it. So I was okay. I guess he did, but it's not like drastically where, okay, now locals
yeah,
can't
not
go
too
there
much.
anymore, or it's only foreigner price. No, I wouldn't say that. But of course, you needed to make sure as a business owner it's going to work for you,
Yes.
because there was a reason why it didn't work for the people that were there before, right?
Yeah, I'm not in business to have fun. I'm in business to make money at the same time.
That's right. That's as you should. As we all should, right? Who wants to work for free? I
Yes.
mean, so now we're gonna ask you some questions. I'm gonna ask you some questions about when it comes to running the business.
Okay.
Because now you have it, you're the owner, good. But I know there's a lot of, culture differences with the employees, or things that you think, okay, you shouldn't be doing that, but maybe it was okay for them. Also, did you fire everybody that was working, or you kept them all?
Okay. Well, first, I'll answer the last question. I did unfortunately have to fire one of my cooks
Yeah.
because she was just being rude with everybody, and it just
Mhm.
wasn't going to work. So I had to fire her, and I did learn a good lesson from that also. As far as the environment, the business environment, culture of operating a business, because I'm a different kind of owner, I believe, here, because I'm there most of the day. I act as the actual manager. So I'm dealing with each and every employee. And one of the things that I've come to find out is that people will tell on each other really, really quick. Here they don't mind saying this person didn't do that, this person did that. So you're
In
hearing
between of them.
yes.
Oh, that's the spiciness there. Like, yeah.
Yes. So you're hearing your name being called Sanchez, Sanchez, this, Sanchez, Sanchez, that. And I'm not used to that, with the business.
Also, I guess they were trying to win you at the beginning, so they want to make sure, oh, she's doing this wrong. So you kind of trusted the person that was telling you
Yes.
who is doing wrong in the business.
So, yep. So I did unfortunately fire one person, but I hired I actually kept the ex owner, the wife. She's actually one of my nighttime cooks because she knows the menu very well.
Oh,
And then I hired on everyone else. I believe that's there at the restaurant now.
that's good. So you kept a good relationship with the ex-business owner, and
Yes,
you actually hired one of the owners to be a chef, a night chef.
yes, yes,
That's
yes.
good. That's good. So the first question here is once you became the owner, were there any difference in managing the legal or financial aspects of the business in Colombia compared to the U.S.? Like
Com-
the way you manage the business the way you would have managed the business back then versus why
That's
right
hard
here.
to say just because I never had a business like this. I had, real estate business, music entertainment type business, but nothing like, a restaurant bar. So I wouldn't know too much how to compare it to the U.S. One thing I will say is the legal part down here, it's a little easier because
Yeah.
you don't have to go through too many ropes. I believe that you would in the U.S. For instance, acquiring a liquor license, things like that.
Oh yeah.
It's a more strenuous process, I would say. But as far as the legal process, like I said, I had good help from the ex-owner,
You
so
were lucky. He was a lucky
I was
investor.
very, very, very lucky because I hear businesses closing all the time because they don't have the right paperwork filled out. They don't have permission for certain things. So I was blessed to have the ex owners and the relationships that I had gained to help me through the process.
Well, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. And then the next question will be, how do you handle tax obligation as a foreigner business owner in Colombia? Do you work with a local accountant or with a lawyer firm to ensure everything is okay? Or right now you just learning everything because it's new?
The latter. I'm just learning. I'm 3 months in, but I know that in Colombia, will they start to fill paperwork out for taxes very soon, November,
Yeah.
December. So I've already been in talks with the realtor of the property. He's getting me in contact with an accountant, and I'll be learning how that process is in the near future.
Okay, okay. That's good. You need to get into it, you know. You don't wanna,
Yeah, I don't want to
later on, not even
get in
prison, but
trouble with the
like find out you
Colombians.
own millions of Colombian pesos in taxes because you didn't know. So I was like, okay, so this is not my money. I was working for the
Well, that's a
government.
good problem to have. If I got millions of pesos.
Well, it's not because if you own it to the government, I'm sure
Or
you
if
don't
I
want
own it,
that.
no problem. No problem.
Another question will be, what were the biggest challenges in adapting to the local labor laws and business regulation?
Ah, I had one little issue, a lesson that I learned in the contract. I didn't. I should have put some type of wording to say that the previous owners are responsible for any lawsuits, pending lawsuits, or any
Before
money,
you.
yeah, that they owe any employees or anything like that. And so when I fired the cook that I was telling you about when I bought the business, um, she brought her papers, to me. I guess our way of suing me for money that she wasn't paid because in
Damn.
Colombia, you have to pay Social Security, vacation, things like that, and pension. And the previous owners never did that, and she had been working for them, for a long period of
Yeah.
time, and only for me for about a
Like
month.
like social security stuff, when you don't pay it, the person when they get fired or they leave, they can sue you for a lot of money because that's something that's a company you should be doing for
Yes.
your employees.
Yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't. It's not a ton of money, but I never like to lose any type of money.
Of
So
course.
right now, I'm in that legal process of actually making the previous owners pay
Is he
for their
gonna
ship.
pay for it?
We're in the middle of that process.
Do you feel like he's more like, flexible to do it, or more in the no side?
Actually, I have no idea because I haven't talked with them. Only my attorneys have.
But his wife is working with you.
Yes, I'm not sure if they've even talked with them yet. So
Ooh, okay,
I'm supposed to be quiet until
and keep it to you.
they do.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So see, guys, it is very important to besides the advice and consultation you can have from professional is like making sure everything is especially when if you're creating a new business, now you know where you start and now you know what you're doing, but buying, in the case of the people that maybe are right now in the same process of getting a business that already exists, listen to Sanchez's experience, because it is good to know
Please
who
do.
was working there. Do they have any like legal process that you don't know about? Because in the contract of buying the business, you can know that they don't have to. They know obligated to put in the contract that they were certain things before then that they dealing with. They don't have to do that. So
Exactly.
that's your diligent. Can you say that? Your diligent.
Due diligence.
Do.
That's
This is
right.
my
Due
broken English.
diligence.
My
It's okay.
diligencias. Your diligencias.
It's okay. Spanish
To
works.
get the property. Yes. Um, so we got a couple more questions that this one is still about, how to run the business, and is that how has been your experience working with local suppliers and navigating the business contracts with them?
The providers.
Yeah.
I actually started off using the providers that the ex-owners were using. I went and I bought the groceries on my own just to know how everything flowed
Yeah.
and assess everything. And then later on, I started getting connections with other providers just by word of mouth, and started to fix our process of how we bring in food to make it easier and cost friendly.
Of course. So if you check the numbers before, do you think that with the providers or suppliers that you have now, is a little bit of a difference between what you're spending versus what they show you?
Yes. Well, actually, I spend a little more, but it's better quality.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I believe in,
One thing for
quality of,
another.
yeah. So it's kind of like that. I'd rather my clients have a great experience as opposed to being cheap, with food and things like that, because foreigners are very picky about their food.
Yeah.
And so you can't cut corners, with the food.
I
So,
mean, you are American. You understand, your people, and like know what they're expecting, especially, which will be a little bit more complicated for certain Colombian business owners to know, because we're so like settled into our culture and like, oh, but we do this in Colombia, and you as a foreigner, you're more flexible to satisfy this market of of tourism. Maybe.
yes, I think that's
Okay.
best.
That's great. So now I have a couple of questions more about like trusting the process of the whole business,
Okay.
because trust is something you gotta have in business.
Yes.
I mean, you minimize the risk of the trust, but you still gotta have trust, right?
You do.
So, okay, so this was more like trust. Trust is key in those type of transactions. So how do you build trust with the local professional, like the lawyer or the person who is helping you right now in the finance, or even the person who is gonna recommend you, the realtor is gonna recommend you to do your taxes? Like, do you have any relationship with them before, or is
Actually,
it purely trust?
what is purely trust, and
Mhm.
in my line of work, um, like I say, also being an agent, I've learned to get referrals. If you don't know anybody, it's always best to go by referrals from someone who's
Yeah.
already used a contractor or whatever it may be. And so that's kind of how I built everything. And then, after I've had a business transaction with you before, I know whether or not, I can trust you with more business. So
Right.
I've gained good Colombian local contacts and they're good friends to me actually now.
Okay, that's good. I mean, you gotta start somewhere. If you're new to a control, you've been here before, but anybody who's coming here at the beginning, at some point you gotta trust somebody, and then being very critical about how that person is handling everything you send them to do, and then if you build that trust, that person can help you for sure with a lot of stuff.
Oh yes, yes.
But
yes.
at the beginning, it's gonna be difficult. And one thing I'm having, as that in the other side of the coin, that I can tell you guys when it comes to business, is like, don't be 100% worried when things don't look extremely formal, because one thing about Colombian that you're gonna face as a business owner is that a lot of things are informal. Of course, everything, there is laws for everything, so people should be able to navigate their ways into making everything formal. But because of most of a cultural thing and people like voice to voice kind of contrast and stuff like that, sometimes things can look a little bit sketchy.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Would you agree with this?
Yes.
Because even me, like, I try to be as formal as I can with my American clients, and then sometimes like, hey, yeah, but how can I trust? If I transfer you the money when I get to Colombia, I'm gonna have the rent of this apartment.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I don't really know what to answer because it's like, I mean, I have a business that has credibility and everybody knows me in my business. But besides that, you are in United States. I already sent you a contract. I don't know what else to show you or to prove to you because Colombian system is not synchronized or like linked with American. So it's not like you can go in the ROIs and share my name and it's gonna tell you who I am and what I pay in taxes or if I have a company registered because it's not, right? So again, you don't have to trust anybody, but definitely to start you need to trust someone.
You do. Yeah.
And hopefully that's a good person you trust in.
Yeah. I agree. And credibility is an important word that you use. And I think it's ways to be guided by your heart, and then you just learn as you go. As you do more and more business, you learn to dodge, the bullets or the red flags, and make the better decision the next time. So, that's business.
One tip that I think I could give when it comes to that is that, okay, you did the way of, okay, you trust somebody and then you trust everybody that person trusted, but you knew about that person before. But for the people who are coming, that one, I wouldn't recommend you for the new ones that never live in Colombia, never been here, and just starting a business because you never know. Because if it's just a friend of the people the person is already doing work for you, they all can come together for an agenda per se.
That's right.
In this case, it's different. Sanchez have been living in Colombia. He already knows a little bit more of the culture. It took him some time before he got into business. But if you completely new, it's better that you go on Google and say lawyers. And then again, ¿cómo se dice? Accountant. And then another part. And different places do a little bit of different things for you. So when they come together, maybe one of them is doing something wrong, the accountant will recognize it or the lawyer will recognize it, and maybe you will be told about something.
I agree.
That's something I will recommend if you're completely business today, completely new to coming to Colombia and trying to do business.
I agree. Do your homework, do your research. Google reviews are probably the best way to make sure that person has really, really good reviews. If they don't, then it's probably a red flag. But those are little ways that you can kind of make that first decision if you've never been to the place. But I really don't advise anybody to invest in a place they've never been. I advise coming a couple of times. Like if you want to come and invest in Medellín, take a few visits, get to know people, make relationships, come to a restaurant like mine and mingle, with other local successful realtors, and so that's the best way, I believe, to get started if you've just never been to a place.
Yeah, by the way, if you come in here, you should definitely try his restaurant, Tributo. I'm going to put the social media here because something that I've noticed is that a lot of the expats living here are going to your restaurant. So that's a way also for you to connect and maybe hear the insights of people who have been living here for a minute, who own property, who had businesses, not restaurants, but maybe other type of businesses already.
Yes.
So that's definitely a good place to network if you are American or foreigner in general coming here to invest and eat good.
I agree.
Which we're going to see. And then, okay, I guess this question you already replied, which was, what advice would you give to other foreigners considering investing in a business in Colombia, especially when it comes to trusting local and legal processes? I guess you just replied that, which is not trusting so much and doing your research.
Yeah, doing your research. Come visit the country a couple of times at least and get to know some of the people here, get to know the vibe. I would say learn the local language if you can. That always helps. What else? I would say here, one of my the best advice I can give you is a lot of deals always get done, seller to buyer, a lot of times. So you have to really have your capital or whatever it is ready to move and move fast, before someone else sweeps in and steals the deal from you. So just be ready, do your research, connect with good people, and that will take you a long way down here in Medellín.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, guys, and it was already getting a little bit dark. So let's finish these questions, and I know Sanchez has to go back to his business too.
Oh, I'm
So,
having fun. I'm having fun.
and this one is more a question for lifestyle as an expat living here in Medellin, and is that how has been your experience as a Black American expat in Medellin, both in business and a day to day life?
And day-to-day life, I can truly say I feel normal here. I feel that people recognize me as American sometimes, but I don't feel like I'm treated,
You
any
don't feel like you're a
differently.
target?
No, I don't, but that has a lot to do with my mindset. I'm not one to wear a bunch of jewelry or, try to look American or foreign, with foreigner, I should say, with a bunch of jewelry and out with my cell phone all the time, things like that. So, um, yeah, I don't think I'm treated any different. And I also live in a more local area. I don't live here in Poblado, so I live more around the locals,
Okay,
and
okay.
so it's more of a mellow vibe.
And the last question is, what aspects of Medellin business environment and culture surprised you the most as a foreigner investor?
Surprised me the most. Surprised me the most is that's a good question. Uh,
So,
what surprised me the most? What surprised me the most is probably seeing Colombians come out and watch football as much as they do. As a business owner, I was expecting this nice and cool, restaurant that's comfortable to come to and eat and all that good stuff. But man, my first football game.
Colombian football game, yeah.
Yeah, it was Copa America, I want to
Copa
say,
America.
and I was
Guys,
very surprised.
crazy. We get crazy with football.
Yes, mucho dinero. Huh?
It's good for the sales.
So yeah, that was very surprising.
Yeah,
To me
we're
as a
very
business owner.
passionate. Like, we might not be, NFL or like basketball fans as much as Americans are, but when it
Uh-huh.
comes to football or what you call soccer, um,
Local.
it, the men and women equally go crazy on the. And if Colombia is playing, you can trust and believe the streets are going to be packed with everybody wearing the flag.
Yes.
Sorry, the Colombian jersey with the flags on hand.
Uh huh.
How you say this thing that you?
The whistles.
The whistle things.
Aguardiente.
Aguardiente, ron antioqueño. We're ready for everything, guys. We are ready.
Yeah, I agree. It was a crazy experience.
So, guys, this has been Sanchez's experience. I hope this is very helpful for you, and you had great insights of a business owner in Medellin, Colombia. Would you like to say something before we end the?
I guess I'd like to say, first of all, I appreciate you coming in and showing us love in our restaurant. I hope that the food is good to you. You leave us a good review. Anybody that's looking to come to Medellin, feel free to come and visit Tributo Parisia Bar. You can find us on Instagram, Tributo_Parisia_bar. Yeah, come by and have a shot.
What
have
about
some
you? Can
food.
do you mind if you share your social media? Or you want to keep it more private?
I share it. Yeah, right now we have Instagram. I can't remember the TikTok at the
No, your
moment.
personal. Your
Oh,
personal.
my personal. My personal Instagram is Chez Streds. It's actually my workout my workout page, but I use it as my personal CHEZSHREDZ Chez Streds on Instagram, and you can also look me up Sanchez Ditson on Facebook also.
Okay, guys, so thank you so much, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. A lot of more valuable information is going to be coming. We're going to have more amazing guests, business owners, property owners, six figures, and even people who are living on a budget. We're going to interview them all so you can have like a real perspective of what it is living, being a tourist, or even investing in Colombia. So see you next time.
See ya. Appreciate it.